Hello and welcome back to the North American Rival Series. We just saw a fantastic matchup there between Charlotte Phoenix and RBG Esports. Charlotte Phoenix now off of that 3-0 victory are number one in the standings. They currently are in position to take that auto promotion spot into the RLCS. But we're going into our next matchup. That is going to be 72 Pin Connector versus Stromboli. Now, guys, this is Stromboli's final game of the season. They just need one win here, and they need both Charlotte Phoenix and Omni Nation to lose their next games, and they will move into that promotion spot, at least the auto promotion spot. They're still in contention for a promotion relegation matchup. But I want to get some opinions from you guys. Hunted, I'll start with you here. But what do you think Stromboli's got to do here? They're subbing in Andy today for Heck, and we've seen that a lot throughout the season of subs actually starting to play a more major role into how teams approach series. What do you think that's going to change here for them?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the big question, right? I think that's something that Stromboli has definitely looked at coming into this. What does Andy bring that Heck doesn't, or vice versa? What does Heck bring that Andy necessarily doesn't to this squad? And just from watching 72 PC throughout the course of the season and how well Heck has played for them, it's going to be a large role for Andy to fill. I think he's going to have to make the passing plays work because Alrez and J-Pow, they kind of relied on Heck to be that facilitator through the midfield. And if Andy can do the same thing, I don't think very many things change. But if it's going to come down to Alrez and J-Pow stepping up, then we're going to have to see them do that here.
Yeah, I think it'll be very interesting to see how that passes out. But I think they could be a pretty even swap, like you were saying. And then, George, I got to ask you this one. 72 Pin Connector, they are right on the verge of not making the Rival Series for Season 10. They face Stromboli today and Omni Nation next week. What would you recommend they do today to make their path a little bit easier? Because, again, they're right on the cusp of not making it for next season.
I would recommend that they win and don't put themselves in a position where there's a million different variables going on right here. Like, oh, we could potentially make top 6 if this team, or that team loses, or Stromboli, they can get the #1 seed if Charlotte Phoenix and Omni Nation lose their next games. Like, these teams need to dig down. They need to win. without a doubt. 72 Pin Connector, this is going to be a tough series for them. Stromboli, they have only had 3 losses so far this season, and I don't really see them adding to that list unless they really give them a run for their money. So 72 Pin Connector can come out strong, maybe take advantage of the fact that Andy's subbing in for Heck, though we've seen Andy sub in before. He's played very well. I don't think it's going to affect Stromboli that much.
And so, kind of going off the prediction there that you were kind of giving us, I think we know where you're going to go on this, but what is your prediction for this matchup?
I got to give it to Stromboli. I think it's going to be a 3-1.
All right. And Hunted, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm surprised that the 2 casts that we have done together, Meet and Greek, you and I are actually agreeing on our predictions in both of the matches.
Sometimes
I
the
agree with
stars
you.
align.
Well, I most certainly agree. 3-1 in favor of Stromboli. I haven't bet against Stromboli once this season. I'm not going to start now. They are, in my opinion, one of, if not the best team in the Rival Series in North America. And even with Andy coming in and being kind of that wild card factor, I don't think that they let that get to them.
Yeah, I have to agree. I really don't think that that's going to be anything that really changes the formula too much in how these guys play. If anything, it might be beneficial to them in helping throw 72 Pin Connector off. But I'm going to agree. I think that it's going to be them 3-1. And guys, we want to hear your opinions at home. Do !BOLI for Stromboli or !72PC for 72 Pin Connector. Of course, what else could it have possibly been? But guys, do !store if you want to get some cool hats just like this one, or a cool hoodie, any of the other things that we have there. But that is going to do it for me. Take it away, boys.
Well, thank you again, Ryan, for that lovely introduction. And we, again, have a wonderful matchup upcoming and a lot riding on this one once again for one of these teams in Stromboli. We saw the Charlotte Phoenix come out sweep their series. They had no problems dispatching RBG. Do Stromboli find similar success here, or do they run into a wall in 72 PC?
That's going to be the tough one to answer. I can't give you one, though. I'm really pushing for Stromboli to really take this in a 3-1. Just a lot on the line here for Stromboli. If they drop this series, potentially could be knocked out of top 3. I believe that is an option. So very risky for them. Obviously, it's a must-win. Obviously, it's a must-win for 72-pin connector. Then the flip side of this, where if they don't get the win, they're going to be knocked out of the rival series. Then have to re-qualify through the qualifiers, and that's rough. So,
yeah.
Again, another series, and again, this is something that happens when you're last week. Obviously, so much on the line for both of these teams. Who's going to show up?
Well, it looks like game number 1 going to get started shortly here. You're just waiting for everything to get underway, but yeah, again, this one a little bit higher stakes, I would say, than the last game. I know, of course, Charlotte Phoenix, certainly a must-win game for them there if they wanted a chance at the top spot, but this time you mentioned it. This is a must-win for both teams for 2 completely separate reasons, and nobody's going to back down from this fight as game number 1 starting now as the kickoff between Demo and Allraz happens through mid. Stromboli in orange, Allraz, Andy, and J-Pow, 72 PC in blue. Demo,
no
Jacob,
way.
and Lion Blaze. And immediately it's Jacob to Lion Blaze, 1-0, 72 PC.
No, but take a look at Lion Blaze bumps Jacob into the ball. The self-serve off of the backboard. I could not believe he just did that. Wow. What a statement to start game 1.
Great start, as you mentioned, for the boys in blue. Will they find a second? Allraz is going to play that one away. Lion Blaze will chase it up the sidewall. Does he have another double touch? Not quite. Andy couldn't quite get there. Jacob's just going to throw it downwards. No problem for Allraz to cut across and clear. 30 seconds in, already a quick start. Fun start as well. Pretty highlight reel goal early on. That's where we stand with 72 PC, 1-0. Great takeaway from, or by Jacob there, as Lion Blaze looking to pass out towards Demo. It's not quite going to find its way all the way to him. Now J-Pow to Andy. Sidewall again, and Lion Blaze with the clear. Stromboli struggling to find a foothold in the offensive zone, as this one will be J-Pow into the sidewall. Jacob right towards Andy. This will bounce up high. Ceiling from Demo. Oh, he gets a second touch. Takes it away from Lion Blaze. This could be dangerous as Allraz is going to push forward to make this touch. Here's Jacob. That'll fall right down towards Andy. He takes it up the sidewall. Dunking that one by Demo. Lion Blaze all the way back around. Only one shot registered so far in this game. It was the only goal scored by 72 PC. We still play 1-0, 3:20 left to go. And again, Stromboli struggling a little bit to find the offense.
Yeah, both teams here, as Jacob throws a wild one towards the net. Both teams struggling to find footing. After that first goal, things, I think, were starting to settle a little bit. However, none of these teams really coming out on top right here. Maybe we're just going to see some more offense generated from Stromboli based off of that Demo. But unlikely here, as we see 72-pin connector doing a fantastic job corralling the offense away from their net. They should have thrown that one in. Here comes Lion Blaze to throw it away. And the transition play coming alive here for 72-pin connector. They just put Stromboli in a position they're not used to.
3-on-1 into the orange zone. Not much you can do as a defender. Unable to make the stop that time. And Stromboli find themselves down 2 as halftime approaches here in game number 1. 72 PC, a great start to this series. See if they can cap it off with a victory. Still got to play defense for quite a while. Plenty of time for the orange side to try to find a couple. Jacob off his own back wall. Andy Now Demo. Allraz will turn, just throwing it back in the blue zone. Here's Lion Blaze off his back ball. Look for Jacob on the pass. They'll connect with him, and the ball is back across towards Demo. Andy up quickly to make the touch. This will force Lion Blaze back to his own corner. J-Pow, solid win. Allraz fires. That's just a bit high. Jacob all the way across the box. Now Andy looking for a play. It'll be Demo. And now J-Pow. No turn from Andy, and it should be Demo all the way back. Minute 35 left to go. 2-0, 72 PC. As Demo, that's towards the net. J-Pow has to turn to make the play. We'll give away Jacob slowly towards. Be cleared away by J-Pow, and now into the corner. Here's Demo. Great job from 72 PC. Bar down from Jacob. That'll make it 3-0, 72 PC running away with game one.
Yeah, and they're just in complete control right now. You're looking at Stromboli, seeing what they can do, and I see a lot of hesitation. And it's not boding well for them right now. I think moving forward, game one, you can throw it away, cross that one out, it's fine, you can take the loss. But going into game two, you gotta buckle down here, because this is not the Stromboli squad we're so used to seeing. I know they're very capable, but right now, 72-pin connector, you got to give them props. They're showing up extremely well here in game one.
As you said, it is only game one, and there are plenty of games left for Stromboli to try to turn things around. This is most certainly going in favor of 72 PC. 40 seconds left on the clock. Demo Cat just off the bar. It will be Andy to play it on. Now here's J-Pow. He's up in the air, wants to find the first for Stromboli. A bit of a double commit in the corner. This will be Demo to clear it on. Allraz takes it away. He had a shooting opportunity. He couldn't quite get it on goal. 20 seconds left to go. Game number one. And it is time now for Stromboli, as you mentioned, to look towards game number two. It's the beauty of Rocket League, right? You've got 5-minute games. Doesn't matter what the score was of the previous one. You're tied up at 0, 5 minutes on the clock for the next game, and this is the time for them to make adjustments. They've got to do it heading into game two. You do not want to go down 0-2 to the 72 PC team.
Yeah, absolutely not. And just looking at what happened in game one for Stromboli, that really didn't work out. Was, again, we were talking a little bit about this, Jeff. You mentioned it a little bit as well. The double commits on offense on Stromboli's side really did not do them any favors. It left them wide open for a transition play downfield. 72-pin connector just weren't feeling as much offensive pressure as if they were able to commit reasonably on their offensive rotations. Now, again, not all is lost here for Stromboli, but 72-pin connector coming off that really strong game one where they had that really creative first goal, which I hope someone clipped that, because that was, I want to go back and rewatch that. But they're going to go into game two with so much momentum. How do you stop this team? They are playing extremely well.
I mean, not even just momentum, but confidence as well. I mean, that's a big thing when you're playing in must-win games against teams that are also trying, to win a must-win game as well. And the confidence has been high. After that first goal, it looked like 72 PC certainly just kind of relaxed their way into the series. And you really can't say the same about Stromboli. It took them a long time to get any kind of offensive going in the blue side. And whether that comes down to nerves or just comes down to solid defense from 72 PC, I think you can probably chalk it up to a little bit of both. But now's not the time to get nervous if you're Stromboli. You're headed into game two. You're down a game. You've got to win this one to even things up. Try not to go down 0-2 heading into game three. It's Jacob trying to force his way into the orange goal. But again, 72 PC had all the pressure in game one. They've started it off with some pressure here in game two, but that is a great pass just off the post. Andy will play the rebound, but Jacob the save. Now Allraz to keep things moving in the blue half, and already Stromboli off to a good start.
Absolutely, and with those offensive pass plays coming out, it's going to be very difficult for 72-pin connector to keep playing defense against this. They have to find a way to get this ball out of their half. It looks like Lion Blaze is able to do some. Little bit left in the tank, but can't get it by Alraz. But that's just what 72 PC needs to do right now. They need to regain control. They need to stop Stromboli in their tracks. They can't let this momentum shift, as Lion Blaze had to stretch to get that save.
Wonderful shot from Andy as well. Bar down, but it's not good enough to beat the defender. Continue to play 0-0. Minute and a half gone, game 2. Here's Demo towards, that'll be J Pow, no problem. This will fall down towards Andy. He's looking for a double touch. Gets a solid read, but very sharp angle. Can't get it on goal. Now Jacob all the way back down. J Pow plays it out. Andy's there. No touch from Jacob, and this will be Andy to try to carry it all the way down. The defense isn't back. It was a Demo on the blue side. And just like that, Stromboli, they strike first.
And I'm just taking a look from Demo's perspective on this play. He had enough boost in the tank, but I don't think he would have been able to get there in time. Jeff, you're absolutely right. The defense caught way out of position on that play. And Stromboli taking complete control now. Let's see if they can hold on to it going into the rest of this game, because there's still plenty of time left for 72-pin connector to tie this one up.
Trying to tie the game. That was a good pass. Lion Blaze unable to get the touch. Demo in a tough spot here. Just trying to play it off. Great patience from him. Poise from Demo keeps it away. He'll even play it further. Now J Pow up to make this save. Here's Jacob. Back wall. Demo gets the Demo in the goal, but Andy and Alraz both will be respawning with the ball on the blue side of the pitch. Here's Andy to move forward. The Demo onto Jacob. Opens up some space. Alraz looking for the pass across. Demo will cut that off. Ball is dangerously towards the orange net, but J Pow's there. Bouncing slowly through mid. Alraz not quite able to make the challenge. Now Jacob and Andy both going up for it. 2:05 left to go. 1-0 in favor of Stromboli. It's going to be Jacob. Back wall, nobody home for the challenge. And again, back and forth action. But Stromboli, the team who's come out ahead thus far, though Demo wants to change that, and he will.
Wow.
Top shelf from Demo, 1-1.
And Alraz trying so hard. He saw this shot coming from a mile away. Didn't have enough boost in the tank, though, to get there. As Demo is able to squeak that one just by. Ties this game up with just under 2 minutes to go. This is so close.
It is. Reminds me of the last series between Charlotte and RBG. 1-1, minute 35 left to go. Will we see overtime? Certainly a possibility. J-Pow was looking for a play. Jacob to Lion Blaze, who will carry it forward. Alraz up to give him some trouble, as now Jacob to Demo. Back down to Jacob, but it's J-Pow able to clear it away. Minute 15 to go. Still 1-1 on the board. In the corner comes Jacob. J-Pow will challenge him. This is down. And Demo will play it into his own corner. 60 seconds left to go. Game number 2. Bounces out towards mid. J-Pow doesn't get by Jacob. Alraz is there. They'll fire this one forward. Again, defense holding strong from 72 PC. Andy over the top of Demo. Lion Blaze makes the play. Now Alraz looking for J-Pow. Nobody hitting it. 3 players up for it. With 30 seconds left, overtime looking closer and closer, though it might not come. Great save from Lion Blaze. And it keeps it 1-0, or sorry, 1-1.
And Stromboli here, they had a fantastic opportunity, but they threw it away. All 3 defenders in that same corner from 72 PC. And even a double commit earlier on, but no one was there. We need to see Stromboli become aggressive, or else they're just going to be stuck in their own half this entire time, and all those free opportunities are going to go to waste. As that ball's going to hit the ground, we're going to go into overtime. Let's see if they're able to adjust or if 72-pin connector, they're just going to keep powering through.
Right now, 72 PC out shooting Stromboli 11-8, I believe. Sets Andy towards the net. Demo with 7 shots alone in this game. He'll end up getting demoed on his own side, though, as J-Pow will play this on. Jacob, solid touch, but here's Andy. Demo to cut him off. 30 seconds into OT. Stealing. Now Alres down to J-Pow. He'll pop it up. On the sidewall, the pinch is there from Andy. J-Pow wins the challenge. Still in the blue zone. Alraz going to rotate forward. Andy was rotating as well. He's trying to get there before Lion Blaze can't quite do it. Now Alraz off his own sidewall. J-Pow lurking through mid. He's going to turn back. Awaiting some kind of clear. It's not going to come for the moment, but the rotation has been good from Stromboli. Need to keep it going, and they got to make sure they don't overcommit here. As Alraz a shot off the bar and out.
Could not believe that one didn't go in. That is one you have to hit in every single time. He wishes he had that shot back. But we're seeing here Stromboli creating fantastic opportunities for themselves on offense. And if you take a look at their midfield defense, it's pretty superb. Not only are they able to stop 72-pin connector from going too deep into their defensive half, but they're also in complete control of the boost situation. Now, 72-pin connector had a little bit of an offensive start right there, but Stromboli's working exceptionally well to bring it back onto their own offensive half.
Approaching the 2-minute mark here in OT. Still, we play on, however, 1-1. It's Alraz. This is down in front. Andy's there, but Demo just gets there in time. Making the play. Close call yet again for 72 PC. They keep it alive as now Alraz off the back wall. He'll challenge Demo. J-Pow wants to take his time. He ends up flicking it downfield. Got a dunk over top of Lion Blaze. Plays it up towards Jacob. Alraz is there for the challenge. Andy to rotate forward. He wins that one on Demo. Lion Blaze last back. Solid touch. Around J-Pow and onward. 2.5 minutes played. A game and a half of Rocket League. In game number 2. That's up. J-Pow will clear. Here's Lion Blaze. Back wall. Not enough boost in the tank for a double. Will be Jacob right off Alres. This is dangerous. Demo is there, but he doesn't have the angle. Lion Blaze has to hustle back. He's the last one there. He'll play it across the box. J-Pow and Andy both rotating forward. Andy finds some space. That's not on goal, but it was close.
It wasn't on goal, it was close, and he even bumped the defender out of the way, but both defenses playing picture perfect right here. It's almost like as if the last defender always just manages to get back just in time, and that's why we're seeing such a long overtime right now, but Demo had a fantastic demo of his own. Not enough to get it into the net, though, as things start to open up here for 72-pin connector. And they're going to keep the offense going. Here comes another demo on Alraz. There's a shot from Lion Blaze. Nothing found, though.
Jacob is there, almost had the redirect. You got to love the patience from Alraz on that play earlier on. Playing the ball above the oncoming attacker. He was in a very precarious spot after the demo on his teammate. Able to make it work. Keeps us going. 4 minutes into overtime. Game number 2. Andy to rotate forward. He has some room here under Demo Cat, but he can't put it home. There's J-Pow, the save from Lion Blaze. Off the post from Alraz. Now Lion Blaze one-on-one with Andy. He flicks it up. Andy makes the save. The rebound still sitting out in front. Jacob flicks it and J-Pow makes the save. Still we play on into overtime. 4 minutes gone.
What just happened? Oh my goodness, both teams exchanging. Massive pressure, no one able to score. Wow.
Know the giveaway. Andy nearly had a shooting opportunity. J-Pow may. He's just going to bump that one towards, and Demo will make the save. This is Alraz up to J-Pow. Can he get it by Lion Blaze? Not quite. Here's Andy to rotate forward. Underneath, the ball's on the line. It's in the net. What? Andy scores. 2-1 final score. Stromboli tie the series.
And the double commit on the defense is what does them in. Andy, all he had to do was backflip that one in. Stromboli somehow, some way, crawled their way to a Game 2 victory. Wow, hardly fought. Goodness gracious.
Unreal. Yeah, unreal finish to that one. Nearly 5 minutes of overtime there in Stromboli. They managed to take the victory, but I mean, what a crazy final minute that was. Opportunities galore.
Wow.
On either side. A couple of posts, a couple of crossbars, and more importantly, a couple of fantastic saves from both teams. But eventually, it's Andy. It's the sub we talked about. How is he going to perform? Well, he's got himself a game-winning goal here in Game 2, and it could not have been a better, more momentum-giving goal than that one from him.
That was amazing. That was one of the most incredible overtimes I've seen in Rocket League. Just so much, these teams trading back and forth. And it's unfortunate because I wish it could have gone on for even longer because it was getting so intense. Both these teams were playing absolutely perfect defense. It's unfortunate. 72-pin connector, it does happen though. Double commit on defense opens things wide open. So don't do that. Going forward here, Game 3, Jeff, I'm at a loss. I don't even know who has the momentum here going into Game 3 because of just how long that overtime is. I mean, clearly Stromboli might have the advantage on that front because they came away with the win, but there was just so many good things I saw from both these teams.
It was certainly quality play on either side. What a dunk from Lion Blaze. Will that find its way in? No, J-Pow rejects him on the line. Another wonderful save from J-Pow. If you remember, Greek, in that overtime, J-Pow had a miraculous save in his own box that kept us going into that 4th minute. He makes another one here to keep the game scoreless, but you're absolutely right. The momentum, it almost feels deadlocked. I feel like if Stromboli would have dropped that overtime, it's fully in favor of 72 PC. But now both teams taking victories. Tied up at 1 here in Game 3. J-Pow just by Lion Blaze. It really feels like it's anybody's game, and this first goal is going to mean a lot.
Yeah, and it just seems like both these teams are right back into it, right where we left off in overtime. High energy, really quick, extreme pace. I really like what we're seeing from both of them right now. No one's really coming up, I guess, with control as they're trying to battle out here for this first real opportunity. I mean, I just know we're setting ourselves up for another great game.
Just a reminder to anybody just joining or anybody who may have forgotten since we've started this series, both teams playing for a whole lot here. Certainly 72 PC wanting to retain their spot in the rival series. But for Stromboli, if they drop another game, Greek, even if they win this series, they have no chance of making that #1 spot, even if the Charlotte Phoenix get swept earlier on. I believe Omni Nation as well, even if they get swept later on in their match.
So this is a must-win territory for them right now.
Yeah, if they want the top spot. Certainly if they win this series, they come closer to securing a play-in spot, which is, or I guess not a play-in spot, but a relegation tournament spot, which is just, you know, it might not be as good, but certainly an opportunity to make it to the RLCS. Is, again, a lot to play for both sides. No score yet as we pass the halfway point of Game 3. As Demo, does he have the double? Yes, he does, but it's not on goal, just off the crossbar. The bouncer nearly found its way in, but alas, Bar takes it away. Still 0-0, 2:15 to go.
Yeah, and that was a perfect scoring opportunity. J-Pow was in the net with relatively no boost for all intents and purposes. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to find the correct angle he needed on that play, and that's just how precise you have to be right now. Both these teams fighting for an inch They're putting up performances that would normally give them a mile. That's just how tight this game is. Both teams so much on the line here. No one wants to drop anything.
Again, this first goal, I mentioned it, going to be an important one, and as time continues to tick by, it only grows in importance. 90 seconds left to go. Still nothing on the board. Good touch from Demo. That'll play it all the way down. Here's Andy. Corner wall. Can he carry it by? Not quite. Alres, that'll just bounce out towards line plays. Might be able to catch J-Pow out here. Gets the bump, but Andy reading that one well. Came over to help his teammate out as now Jacob down off the ceiling. No problem for Andy and Alres to play on. 60 seconds left to go. Still scoreless. Game number 3. We're entering that territory of really first and next goal wins.
Yeah, golden goal approaching soon. But again, there's still time, and we've seen crazier things happen in Rocket League, so it's really never over till it's over. But Jacob saw an open lane. Andy quick to close it off. And I really do think it's going to come down to maybe over to what just happened. Wow.
It's J-Pow is what just happened. He pops it up to himself and gets there before Jacob. Lion Blaze tried, but could not succeed. And 72 PC, they find themselves down a goal. Final 27 seconds. It was looking like overtime, but with that icebreaker, Stromboli put themselves in a great position. They just need to defend for the next 15. This will pop up for Demo. He's got Lion Blaze there as well. Bit of a double commit. That'll be Alraz down towards Andy, who's just going to chip it in. Now Jacob. Here's Alraz. Fires on goal. That's a hard shot. Lion Blaze has to make the save. 2 seconds left. No time on the clock now as now J-Pow down in front. Demo doesn't touch it. And that's it. Stromboli take game 3.
Wow. That game just completely flipped on its head. And you're right, Demo didn't touch the ball because Jacob was supposed to take it. I think he was probably calling for it, but he got bumped out of the way. I believe it was by, I think it was J-Pow or Andy who did that. So great awareness coming through for the Stromboli squad, ensuring the ball touched the ground, avoiding overtime. That would have been wild. Going into game 4, though, this is where things get a little dicey here. 72-pin connector, they need, I think game 4, well, obviously, game 4 is a must-win for them. They want to extend this series. But they need to come out with a statement. Stromboli, you can almost, I don't want to say that their goal, that they didn't work hard for that goal they were able to get, but 72-pin connector almost kind of gave it to them in just in their positioning. And it was unfortunate to see. 72-pin connector, they need to come out harder here for game 4. If they can do that, I have no doubts in my mind they'll be able to get things done. Hunted, this is a tough series. I mean, I still think that it can go either way, even though Stromboli has the series lead.
It's still, it still certainly feels like it could be either way. I mean, again, another 1-goal game. We saw game 2 go to that near 5-minute overtime, and of course, there in game 3, it was only 1 goal to decide that one. So it's been back and forth. Both teams really struggling to create opportunities on the offensive side, but the defenses have been so solid. And, you know, 53% of the chat believe in 72PC here, Greek. I'm sure they would love to see them come back, take a victory in Game 4, send us to a 5th game. But again, so much on the line for everyone here, especially Stromboli not wanting to drop this game to still give them a chance at the very least of making that #1 spot in the rival series this season.
Yeah, I think you were touching up on this previously, is that Stromboli, if they drop this game, they cannot get the #1 seed. They will not get first place in the rival series. There is so much pressure right now for Stromboli to perform, take this game, give themselves a shot of getting #1 seed as long as the Charlotte Phoenix lose to Chaos Esports. which is a very tall order because that's a series that we don't even know what's going to happen. But we're in game 4. Stromboli trying to close out this series, give themselves a chance at number 1. Or will 72-pin connector stay alive, take the series, and give themselves life and a spot in next season of the Rival Series?
We're underway. Game number 4. If we want to see a 5th game, the blue side has to come out ahead. Find themselves down 1-2 here in the series. Stromboli, they lost the first game, battled back, won a hard-fought overtime in game 2. A close battle in game 3. 1-0 scoreline there to finish that one as Alraz down towards J-Pow looking for an opportunity to come hard off his car. Kind of kill the momentum there, though. Alraz will end up getting to it. J-Pow is there. Jacob to save. Andy looking for the rebound. He's going to get caught out. Saw that from a mile away. As soon as Andy decided to turn in, I knew he was finished there. That's a great read from Demo.
Yeah, absolutely. And we could see that little bit of hesitation. Andy thinking, should I go for this ball? Should I rotate back? He chose incorrectly. Demo throwing it all the way downtown. No shot of anyone getting that. And right now, 72-pin connector in a very good spot here in game 4.
Bit overzealous from Andy. Will end up costing them a goal, but does not necessarily mean that will cost them the game, though that was a great demo from J-Pow onto Jacob in goal. Demo, solid ball control. Buys plenty of time for his team. Respawn, get some boost, get back on to the defensive side, as that's going to be Demo again to clear that away from Alraz. J-Pow ends up not going for it. He will grab it on its way down, but Lion Blaze to stop him. Here's Alraz for a second touch. It's weak towards the goal. No problem for Jacob. 1-0, 3:05 left to go. Hard touch from Jacob, looking for a second one. Not quite able to get there. Solid pass down to J-Pow. The flick over top of Jacob. Able to push it into the corner. Here's Alraz off the sidewall. Down towards J-Pow again, and Jacob once more making that play. 2:45 left to go. 1-0 game for 72 PC. This was the final score of the last game, Greek, though the scores were on the opposite side of the board. Will we again see another 1-0 game?
Well, here's something to think about. Stromboli, they're getting opportunities, yes, but unfortunately, a lot of their offensive plays, as Andy stops that one on the goal line, have been pretty soft. I'm not seeing a whole lot of fantastic challenges, except maybe J-Pow can throw it in. This is what they needed. No hesitation on the play. Alraz did a fantastic job getting that one centered over Demo, and J-Pow does a great job as well getting that one by Lion Blaze to tie this one up.
Sometimes it's the soft touch that's all that's needed, and it's J-Pow who slots home the first of the game for Stromboli. You won't see a 1-0 final score in this one, but still we are tied. 2 minutes left to go. Game number 4. Certainly coming down to the wire as we expected this series to do. Jacob's solid save. J-Pow looking for Andy. He was looking to get the pass back to J-Pow. Now off the corner wall, Alraz takes a shot. It's Jacob. Andy the rebound. He's going to throw this off the ceiling. The follow-up's in the net. Andy, as you said, a beautiful read. It's 2-1.
And he knew exactly where the defenders were going to be on this play. It didn't matter if all 3 of them were in the same corner. He was going to hit that left side every single time. Fantastic read, fantastic self-serve. And Stromboli with the lead late here in game 4. Can they finish this series, or will this ball be dangling in front of the net for somebody to take from 72-pin connector? No, says Alraz, as he takes that one away.
It's fired right back into the zone. Jacob not going to be able to beat Alraz there. And now Andy, a little bit of a one-on-one with Demo. It's no problem for the blue defender. Lion Blaze next in line to try to play this one out of his own corner. J-Pow with the pressure. Falls down towards Andy. Looking for J-Pow on the deflection, but it's Jacob with the save. Now Allraz back into the zone. Andy, back wall, double, no, not quite. J-Pow up to try to dunk this one. Falls right to Allraz. Clears it back in. 45 seconds left. One goal needed. At 72 PC, they're on the offensive side now. Lion Blaze around Allraz, not by J-Pow. Here's Jacob. Doesn't have Demo in quite. Got enough position to knock that one home. 30 seconds left. Maybe out of the corner. Lion Blaze, what a pass to Jacob, but it's saved away by Andy. J-Pow will rotate forward and clear it away. 20 seconds left to go. Allraz towards the cage. It's just wide. Final 15, Lion Blaze. Now J-Pow. He's demoed. Jacob. The pass just a bit too soft, and Andy takes it away. Time ticking away now. Final 5 seconds. Out of their own zone comes 72 PC. Kept in by Andy. Now Lion Blaze, that's a bit too far. That's it. Game over. Stromboli take this series. It's a 3-1 final score, and it keeps their hopes alive for first in the league.
And Stromboli, strong showing here in Game 4 to solidify their final standings here in the rival series. They will finish 6-3. Will that be enough to get first place? I want to talk to someone who has a lot of feelings about this. Let's get Ryan in here. Ryan, there is a lot that happened in this series, a lot of back and forth, but somehow Stromboli was able to come out with a 3-1 win. How did they do that?
It's just going to be really tough for them at this point. I mean, to be honest, with this loss, 72-pin connector, they're gonna have to rely on some other teams to win or lose their matches in order for them to stay in the rival series for Season 10. Even if they 3-0 sweep Omni Nation, they are going to be in a really rough spot now. They needed to take this, even if it was a 3-2 victory here and against Omni Nation, they needed to win both those matches in order to stay here by their own merit. Now they have to rely on some other teams, and that's never a place you want to be in. And I just kind of want to dissect things with you guys. And I'm going to start with you, Hunted. Where did things kind of go wrong here for 72-pin connector? Because they started off looking really strong, and they just kind of withered out against this Stromboli team.
Well, you know, I think you've got to break it down. When you have series as close as these, and it's a very low-scoring series, I mean, you can always kind of point to the offensive side of the ball and say, well, why aren't you scoring more goals? I mean, it's hard because, you know, it's difficult. I mean, these teams play really, really solid defense, and to create opportunities can feel like a mountain to climb sometimes. And I think 72 PC, they came out strong in Game 1. They had that offense that they needed, but then it was kind of like, okay, Stromboli, well, we had a rough start to this series. It wasn't the greatest Game 1. They kind of came together as a team and said, we're going to shut down on defense, and we're going to make some opportunities for ourselves on the offensive side of the ball. And unfortunately, 72 PC didn't quite have the answer to that defense.
And George, what are some of your thoughts about this matchup? Because again, 72 PC, I mean, they started off really strong. They took 3-0 there in Game 1, and then everything after that, 1-goal games.
Well, I think things started to change, especially after Andy's overtime goal in Game 2. You can just see Stromboli kind of like dig themselves down and say, all right, we can't drop any more games this series in order to keep our number 1 spot viable. They're not even guaranteed to be number 1, but they were fighting so hard. It's that poise that they were able to hold, and you can tell it was just a very different Stromboli team after Andy stepped up. And I mean, I have more thoughts on Andy that we can talk about later, but I think you kind of know where I'm going with this. But Stromboli, Jeff, you said something that was very interesting. You said Stromboli, you said, we're the best team this season in the rival series. I thought that was a very bold thing to say, but you know, I can definitely see it. I can definitely see it.
No, I mean, they came in, they were one of the newer teams, they qualified in through the play-ins, and I think, like you said, though, they made a big statement this season. They said that they are here to compete, and they did just that. Both them and Omni Nation looking to claim those top, 2 of those top 3 positions, and again, they are new teams into the rival series, and they did a spectacular job throughout all the season. But just want to go into who your MVP was now. And George, I'm going to start with you. Who's your MVP?
I pretty much had this dialed in after game 2. Andy stepped up so much, and we've seen him step up a lot as the sub here for Stromboli throughout this season of the Rivals Series, and he continued to perform exceptionally well. Not saying it's all him, but I think Stromboli as a team, they're so cohesive. You can slot almost any 4 of them into a pair or a trio of 3 per se, and I still think they would be able to perform at their best. So he came out very big in this series, very crucial to getting this 3-1 win and keeping themselves alive for that number 1 spot. That's why he's my pick for MVP.
All right, and what do you think, Hunted?
Yeah, so I mean, last series I talked about Shadow and his game-winning goal-scoring abilities for MVP. I think it would be a bit unfair if I deviated from that now. I mean, again, it's Andy who won the game in Game 2 overtime that Meet and Greek said was kind of the turning point for Stromboli, and it certainly felt that way heading into Game 3 after that win. And some really clutch goals from Andy when they needed them. You got to give it to him. I mean, it was a team effort, I think. We talk about that a lot and how these games are team efforts, but I think this one in particular was a full team effort from Stromboli to keep 72 PC off the board. But if you had to give it to one player, I mean, you got to recognize Andy for coming in, subbing in today for Heck, and doing a fantastic job scoring those goals.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give it to Andy as well. Again, like you said, he subbed in. He lived up to the standard that they have now placed. And I mean, before we leave, I do want to talk one final point, just because this feels like it needs to be talked about. Where do you guys think subs go moving forward for the seasons to come? Because this team and several other teams have made a statement that subs can be utilized in a big way, and they can really change the flow of a matchup.
Right.
Wow, this is a tough question.
I mean, it is, but it's one of those
How do
things
we
that
begin?
we've all seen it, and it's just how does that affect things moving forward? Because it
Well-
looks like this is the shit that we've all talked about eventually going to, and it looks like we're finally kind of getting there.
Well, I think previous seasons we've seen the sub position more as a way to, it's like almost like a stepping stone per se. Now it's a little bit unclear. I don't know if it's going to change. I like how Stromboli has been utilizing Andy. I think it's a fantastic way to get your 4th man in there. I kind of wish we would see more subs play for a lot of these critical matches. I just think again it varies from team to team, obviously. Again, all I can say is I wish we could see more of it. Will I think that a lot of teams will go this way? I don't think so. I think what Stromboli have is something special, and I hope they continue on this path. Hope it works out for them going forward. Hey, maybe if the stars align and they're able to get that number 1 spot and they get into RLCS, maybe we'll see Andy playing a lot more, a more, I guess, active sub position, but we'll have to see what happens.
And so with that, guys, we're going to be right back. But first, go do ! music there in chat. If you want to check out all that cool music that we play when we're on the Be Right Back screen and other things like that, you seem like you enjoy it, so why don't you go check it out. But that's going to do it for us here. We will bid adieu to Hunted and Meet and Greek. We'll be back with Monkey Business versus Mirage. Stick around for more Rival Series action.
To cry no more.